more I'm nervous. I'm with a superstar.
So we just have to talk loud.
Okay. Is it ready?
It's recording.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Hey everybody, it's Melanie, also known as Nell, and this is Getting Personnel with Christ. And this week is another week for interview with the people of Adore. And today we have our famous Sister Faye, Michelle Johansson.
Hey.
And this episode is called Behind the Habit, a conversation with the nun from Adore.
Nice.
And so, starting from the very beginning, okay, I told you about this play that I was writing.
Yes.
And you automatically said, what? I want to be in it.
Yeah. Like, I thought students were only going to be in it, and I said, no, you need to make an exception for me. I have to be in it. Find a way for adults to be in it.
And you know, and I thought about it, and I was like, no, some of these adult characters can't be played by kids. Yeah. So it was great to have my best friend in the play. And so taking you back to the very first time you were on camera in the audition.
Camera?
Yeah, remember I recorded you
I
guys.
know. Oh my gosh.
So can you take us back to that moment when you auditioned for Adore, and what were you feeling?
I didn't like the camera.
Was it the camera, or was it the people that you were in front of, or both?
The camera. I was excited when I found out who would be there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was excited because of you.
Yeah.
But then I found out there would be like a panel.
Uh-huh.
And then I got nervous. But then I found out who's on the panel. And then so I was fine again. Because they're all my friends. So not that I thought it was an easy in, but I just figured I'm not shy around them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just looking forward to a good time. And then I walked in and I saw the camera. And the voice in my head said, don't worry. It's not for you. And even when you guys told me, yes, you're going to be recorded, I thought, no, they're going to make an exception. They're going to make an exception. They can't be recording me. No. But you guys insisted. And I was just like, why?
It's for our archives.
And then I immediately thought about those Hollywood actors when they are doing an interview and the interviewer goes back in time to show them something embarrassing, like an audition tape. Oh my gosh.
So Michelle's audition was one of the best ones because of what she sang. And we told them, you have to say some lines from the play and then sing a song. Can you tell everybody what song you sang?
I sang the Jardians commercial jingle.
It was the best. It was hilarious. You even asked me, what song should I sing?
Yes.
And you gave me some, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. And they said, well, I'll tell you what I really want to sing. And I sang it for you. And you said, do that one.
Yes. If you know the Jardians commercial, you could totally hear Michelle singing it, especially as Sister Faye. Yeah.
And even to this day, they still do the Jardians commercial on TV, but now they do it differently depending on the main singer. And every time I'm like, I do that so much better.
They should have hired me. Saw my audition for Adore and hired me.
Yeah. They don't know what they're missing.
It was the best. It's so Michelle. Yeah. It was great. So, what drew you to the role of the nun, and did you expect to get cast in the part?
What drew me to the role I don't know.
It's because it's a nun?
It's because it's a nun, so I thought it would be fun. Oh, that rhymes. I knew who the real person was that it was based on, and she's the one who also molded me to get my first communion. I knew that it was. I knew that I would get to sing 2 songs, not just one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're the only
I'm
adult.
the only one. Yeah, only adult
that sings 2 songs, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's why those Jardiance commercials was helpful. You had to know if she could sing it.
Oh, and then what was the second question?
Did you expect to get cast?
I hoped. I was scared that I wasn't going to get cast, especially in that role. I was scared because you just never know.
Yeah. Did you think other people were gonna come out for the role?
Yeah.
And I was like, as soon as like you started speaking, I was like, this is who I had in mind. There was like some certain actors for Adore. I was like, yeah, this is the one. Like, yeah.
See, and then that's the thing. Like, I was worried that somebody else would audition even for a different role, but then you would think, oh, actually, she would be good as sister. You know, like get you to change your mind. I didn't want that to happen.
It's so great. Oh man, that was so much fun. So what were your first thoughts when you read the script or heard the music for the first time?
When I read the script, I was excited that it was a local family. That I could envision here at OLGC, because immediately 2 times already right there, I can relate. Local family, OLGC here in Pro City, Hawaii. So that excited me. And I was happy I was only in Act 1.
You weren't in Act 2, but not with lines.
Yeah. I was happy that I didn't have that many lines or any complicated, like a long monologue or anything. When I first heard the music, I was excited. I wanted to be in like the recording studio. Like
we need to record you. We need to get that done.
Yeah. So,
yeah. And she would practice in the classroom. And I'd be just like, yeah, she got it. Yeah. No, you didn't get it. Let's try again.
That's another thing too. Like, as an actor, I have a bad habit making it my own. And I know that you have actors or even singers out there that make it their own, but that they're not the best actors. The best actors stick to the script. Unless called to ad-lib, and I was never called to ad-lib.
Yeah. Oh man, that was fun. Yeah, just watching you practice too, and you're just like in the zone, like, okay, I got it, and you're singing it, and I was like, yes, I got it. Like, she's doing it. That's what I want. This is what's gonna happen, and so you are Sister Faye forever in my life now. So let's go behind the scenes. Tell us about your costume. Like, how did it feel to wear the habit for the first time?
Actually, it wasn't my first time.
Oh, were you a nun before?
So here at our Catholic school, we dress up for All Saints Day every year. And one year I was Saint Catherine Drexel. So I had already bought the costume for that. But you, with the budget, with the play, you also bought a costume. So I was lucky enough, I had 2 costumes to go back and forth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that was nice because it was hot back there backstage.
Probably sweating too.
Yes. And or getting my makeup on the habit, or I think I ripped something. Yeah, so it was nice having 2 costumes. I thought people would clearly see with all the stage makeup I had on that I am clearly not a nun. But apparently some people thought, and some even still think, I'm sister in real life. Which, hey, the Oscar goes to. Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow, you played it real good then.
Well, you wrote it real good. Apparently it was really believable.
I should just be calling you Sister Faye all the time. It's like, hey, Sister Faye, like randomly in front of people.
I keep wanting to call her Sister Flo because of Sister Florence.
Yeah. Sister Faye, yeah. Okay, so I know you had a difficult time for a very long moment, but what was one memory during rehearsal that you will never forget?
Well, rehearsal specifically or the whole experience?
Let's start with rehearsal first and then the whole experience after.
Okay. Rehearsal specifically, I'll never forget the experience of working with little children. They say never act with animals and children. And I see why.
Were there a lot of energy in the backstage?
Yeah, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, lots of ants in the pants and Tate needing to be sealing those lips together. Because they don't understand. This is just plywood. People can hear you on the other side. Yeah. So be quiet. Yeah. And it seemed, I don't know, maybe because, again, I was Sister Faye and I was the teacher on stage and I'm a teacher in real life. People automatically assumed I was there to keep the kids in order. But I wasn't. I was there to act and to focus on my craft.
You were in the zone.
Yeah. But it's almost like I had to juggle 2 responsibilities. Yeah. I
know I did. When I did go backstage a couple of times, you're just like on your phone or like...
Yeah, because my script was on my phone. I wasn't on social media or anything. Yeah,
I just saw you like concentrating and stuff.
Yeah. So it was hard to concentrate when I also had to get on the kids to do what they were supposed to do. Yeah.
Animals and kids.
I would like to work with animals though. but yeah, that's what they say.
So overall, in the experience, what is the most memorable thing that happened?
Sadly, and it's also my most regretful, losing my voice.
I know. That was so difficult.
I still think about that like almost weekly.
Oh, yeah.
I really wish we could redo it so that I can do it right. And not that I did anything wrong to make me lose my voice, but actually there are certain things I could have done to not lose my voice. Like I should not have been teaching summer school.
Yeah.
I should have been resting throughout the day. As soon as I got sick or like felt a little tickle in my throat, I should have already been taking it easy and focusing on nursing my health.
Yeah.
But instead, I was coming to work every day, raising my voice when needed, at work, at recess, at the play, you know. Yeah, I should have taken extra precautions. But who knew that was going to happen, you know? And then even when it happened, I just kept trying to not only rely on the Lord, but trust the Lord, of thinking, it seemed like my number one thought, thinking constantly, was, you must not want or need my voice in this play. There's a reason why it's been taken out. I'm not saying that the Lord took away my voice, but he didn't give it back to me.
Yeah.
And the Lord gives us everything we need.
Mm-hmm.
So I must not have needed it. So just, yeah, it was a real test of faith, to one of those, to just trust in the Lord, trust it that he's doing what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I was like, if I'm feeling like this, like, I don't know, it's 10 times more what you're feeling, because I felt really bad that you didn't have your voice. And I was like, I don't want it to be my voice coming out. And that's what happened. It was my voice for you, but I really wanted you to shine and, like, everybody to see your talent. But at least the last show, you were able to.
Yeah, but yes, I do like that the last couple of shows I was able to even work my raspy voice into the show as a joke.
Yeah.
Like, you see these kids make me lose my voice.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That was fun.
Yeah.
I like that, bringing the real life into the performance. And getting that comedic effect. I like that I actually heard the audience laugh because
people
of that.
Were laughing, yeah.
They responded well, so I like that. I like the funniness of people coming up to me and saying, either telling me, "Wow, you can sing." I was like, "Well, thank you, but that wasn't my voice." Or coming up to me completely confused, like, "I don't understand what was going on because your lips didn't match up to what you were saying. How were you doing that?"
I think one of Marissa's uncles said, "Oh, I like the Kung Fu movie."
Marissa has the funniest family, because not only did her uncle say that, but just recently her brother saw me and said, "Oh, how come sister is here?" I'm not really a nun.
Oh man, you're so good at your job. Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, okay. Let's move on to your role as Sister Faye. And how did you prepare to portray a nun?
It wasn't preparing to portray a nun for me. For me, it was preparing to act. And because I didn't want to be horrible. And although you have to overact in a way for the stage, I didn't want to do it so terribly that it was distracting. I wanted to do it. I wanted to be a good stage actor, stage performer. So I was focused more on the acting and being as natural as possible. Yeah. And so if I was as natural as possible, then the nun thing would just come naturally into play. Yeah.
Did anything surprise you about stepping into this role? Like maybe the songs, or just the acting, the words?
I was surprised how much he wanted me to stick to the script.
To be honest, because I know you would go off. That is why. Because I know you would just make it your own, and then I'd be like, "What happened?"
Yeah. But I mean that too in the best way, because I was actually surprised by how much of a director you are. Like, almost every day I would watch you in your role as director and be like, "Wow, she's for real." wow, this is for real. Like, I really felt like an actor who can trust their director, who can go to their director for input and guidance, who, because you were so solid and you knew what you wanted, you had your vision. Yeah, you were a beautiful surprise. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was so nervous to be director because I was like, okay, I don't want to be the mean director. I don't want to be the
No, you were
lazy
stern.
director. Yeah.
You were stern, but that's another thing too. Like, you were stern. You didn't want let people walk all over you. And so I knew I couldn't walk all over you either. I was like, oh, okay. I'm used to this. Not gonna walk all over you. And just as when somebody's your best friend, you can just laugh it off and be like, yeah, whatever. But I couldn't do that.
Thank you for your your support in that way.
Yeah.
Because
and I could see you at times stressed or overwhelmed or frustrated or all the things that come along with being in charge.
Mm-hmm.
But you always went back to ground zero. Like, no, this is why we're here. This is what we need to do. Do it.
Yeah. I know this was my baby and I really wanted it to be the best. Yeah. But yeah. Thank you for, sticking to the script. Maybe in the future, if we do this again, you can tell me what you want to add in there and we can put some flair into it, the Michelle flair.
I hope we get to do it again.
Yes, I hope so. Pray.
Yes.
And hopefully it will be on a bigger stage. So, I'm talking to you people out there. Let's make it happen. Sister Faye's going to pray for it. Okay. Did you feel any connection to your character personally or spiritually?
Well, like I said, because I knew who it was based on, Sister Florence, and I kept envisioning her when she was teaching me classes to get my first communion. I remember sitting down in what is now the kindergarten classroom on the carpet with all the other little kids, and Sister in front of us, teaching how to put our hands, teaching us what to say, teaching us the importance of what we were doing. I have that so ingrained in my head as if it just happened yesterday. Nice. That I kept going back to that while on stage. Yeah.
Did you have a little golden book too? Do you remember? We had a little golden book.
I don't remember that. I know I had a workbook.
A workbook.
Yeah.
My sister's like, I still have mine.
I had a workbook, and then they gave us the little tiny Bibles, the New Testament Bibles. I remember that. I remember going to my first confession, and my mom didn't tell me that I'm going to my first confession. She told me that Father just wanted to talk to me. That is like an interview. So I sat there and I waited for him to talk.
That's funny. Oh, that must have been a shocker. Tell me your sins now. What?
I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. What was the most challenging part of the whole experience, whether on or off stage?
Most challenging part was thinking that I let you and everybody down by losing my voice.
I know you, and you told me that too. And I was like, no, you did not. Like, I was just so happy that you were there. And like,
every day I wanted to burst into tears because of that stinking voice. Yeah. And then having everybody be so encouraging as I walked off the stage did not help.
I know, you told me that too. Yeah.
I don't know what I needed at that moment, because I certainly didn't need them to say, yeah, you were terrible, or you should just stay home, or something, or because we could get somebody better. Like, I didn't, although those were the thoughts going through in my own head, I didn't need them to say that, but I didn't need them to be as encouraging either, because I took it in my own insecurities. My insecurities twisted their words into thinking, well, they're condescending me.
Yeah, they're just making things up, or
I don't know what I needed at that moment. I just needed my voice.
Yeah.
But clearly, like I said earlier, the Lord didn't think I needed it. Yeah. So, He definitely knew that I needed to be put through the emotional ringer. Because it was very emotional, and I learned a lot because of that.
All right. Okay, so memorizing lines and songs can be tough. What was your method of learning them?
First of all, it was harder than I thought it was going to be. I procrastinated.
That's why I'm the director and not an actor. You guys memorize the lines.
I procrastinated because I didn't think I was going to have a problem at all. But once time was running out, and I realized, oh man, this is difficult. I realized I had to study my lines as if I was studying for a test. So I went back to the method of back in the day when I was in college, writing down notes, rewriting the notes.
Did you write lines down?
Yeah, multiple times. I would write all my lines down, then read them through, and then go back and make note of the ones that I still was having problems with. Write those over and over again, read them over and over again. Up until the week of the first show, I was still writing things down and reading them over and over and over.
To be honest, I was scared for a lot of people not knowing their lines. I was like, dear Lord, just give me the patience right now. Give them the words to say it. And I was freaking out. I was really freaking out. But luckily, it was all okay. Everybody was good after. Were there any moments you doubted yourself, and how did you push through?
Yeah, there were a lot of moments. I relied on the people around me. I relied on you. I relied on the people helping you behind the scenes. Because I knew you guys would, if you needed to, take me on the side and say, come on now. You need to do this to be better, or do that to get your head in the game. There was a lot of times where I had to just rely on the people in charge.
And I had to rely on God, because I was like, Lord, just help me. The people that I chose to act, I think God really just put them in their place where they needed to be. And I was like, okay, you told me these are the people. Now make me believe it. Give me a reason to say, okay, I trust in you. But I should have just trusted, because everything went well after. So, with the performances, did anyone's reaction to the show really move you or stay with you? After they watched the show, did anybody have positive reactions that, really moved you?
Hearing about your family and how afterwards they went straight to the Adoration Chapel, that was inspiring to me. It also reinforced that I have to do a good job on that stage because people are paying attention. People are listening. These words that I'm saying, these lyrics that I'm singing, it's touching people's hearts, even though I personally don't mean them to. I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do. But they just naturally, with the Holy Spirit, it touched their hearts. Yeah.
Being in the show, was there a moment where you had like either a conversion of heart or, you know, something changed in your spiritual life being part of Adore?
I love that right there on stage, we are saying that this is really Jesus's body and blood.
Mm-hmm.
That was my line because somebody in my family within the past couple of years asked me, hey, so I hear that you guys really eat Jesus. Tell me that's not true. Like, that's weird. And I tried to be so politically correct or so, I don't know what the word is, so like, I tried to skirt around the truth. It's like, yeah, it is spiritually, but not literally. Like, we're not vampires. Of course not. We're not. But I was too timid, too scared to say, this is really God. He said so in the Bible.
Yeah.
We see it in 3 different gospels and later from St. Paul. Yeah. You know, like, this is Jesus's body and blood, soul, and divinity. I love that just a couple of years ago, I was too scared to say that in a text message to one of my family members. But yet, God put me in a situation where I am on stage in front of strangers and other people that I knew and I know don't come to church and don't believe and will judge me. But still, he gave me the stage, the platform, the reason to put his truth forward with courage. Yeah.
I love that. You know, the play is all about evangelizing. And I'm glad that I gave you the opportunity to evangelize.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, you did. And he strengthened my gift of fortitude.
Yeah. Definitely. Because that is one hard teaching to share with people. And so yeah, it's doing its job. Adore is doing its job, telling people that it is really Jesus's body and blood, soul, and divinity. Yeah. So if you could relive one scene from Adore, what scene would it be?
My song in front of the monstrance.
You Are Here.
Yeah.
That was a very powerful song. Mm-hmm. And you in the recording of on YouTube, you can't see Jesus being processed in. And so, you know, if you're in the audience, you see how like spiritual that could be. Jesus entering onto the stage and, you know,
with the spotlight.
Yeah.
Oh, chicken skin.
Yeah. It
was really chicken skin.
And I hope that if we do it again, we can do the same thing again, because I think, you know, like, if you're Catholic and you've been to benediction and adoration, you know what that's all about. But like, for those who haven't been, like, what is this? Why is it coming down? You know, what's so special about this? And then you say your lines and you know, say it's Jesus' body and blood, and it was an amazing moment.
The only thing that I can compare it to, and I think this other situation, I want to say, was inspired by that scene in the play, was when our school had our Christmas pageant this past holiday. Because for the first time we had adoration in the middle of a school Christmas pageant.
Yeah.
And then just thinking about it, I get chicken skin. Yeah. And how all the lights went out. We had the spotlight on the real monstrance because we're in the middle of the church, and Father brought out the monstrance, and we had hundreds of people in there. I swear there was maybe almost 500, if not more than 500 people in there, all on their knees. Of course, not all of them Catholic. Of course, not all of them knowing what's going on. But yet, I believe they could feel his presence in there. Because when I looked around, everyone was being reverent. I was brought to tears then.
Me too.
Yeah. And I think I never talked to our principal about that choice she made to do that. But I really think she must have been inspired by Adore. Because it was right from a scene from Adore. Yeah.
It was incredible. That's like history in the making.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Man. Wow. That's so exciting. And we at our school, we love to be Catholic. And so that is one of the most Catholic things we've done in our Christmas pageants.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Lastly, what is your favorite line from Adore that you have said?
I keep saying it over and over again. Even when I'm just at school or hanging out, this really is his body and his blood.
Were you saying it in religion class?
Saying it in religion class, saying it at church, saying it in just conversation, bringing it in.
And I love how you say it because you're so enthusiastic. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What, when you're singing the songs and stuff, like, did you get into it, like, learning it, and then, because Trust in the Lord, it got stuck in my head for the longest time because you kept singing it, and then it just, and because of all the things that was happening with the play, I had to keep that on repeat to really trust in the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, so, what did that song help you out too? Because, You Are Here helped you out with evangelizing.
Yes.
Did Trust in the Lord help you with anything?
Absolutely. Just like the next person, I always need reminding to trust. Yep. And so it's almost ironic how much I needed to hear it, and I was the one having to lay out that line. Yeah.
So, we're gonna close up. Do you have any other thing you want to share about Adore, backstage, on stage, auditions, afterwards?
Number one and only thing I want to say: let's do it again.
Yes, so if you haven't seen Adore, the Eucharistic Revival Musical production, such a tongue twister. I don't know what I'm trying to do with myself, but if you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. And if you really love it, go share it with somebody so that they can probably see it and say, hey, let's do this again. And I would love to bring the whole cast back together. I know some of them might be a little bit too old
the kid's grown, so
we would have to recast some parts, but not Sister Faye.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, go watch it, share it with somebody. Let's get it on a bigger stage. And so thank you, Sister Faye, for letting us go and behind the scenes of your habit. And thank you all for watching. And maybe we'll have Michelle back on again for something else. And with that, go light up the world with his love. Bye. That was great.